If you're someone who has been walking around with the label and feeling like you can't possibly do certain things because you're quote unquote an introvert, I want you to know that you can do anything you set your heart to do. So if you are someone who identifies as being an introvert, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how you can put yourself out there and just be more confident as a content creator.
Hey you guys, so I'm just in the middle of editing the video right now, and I realized there's a lot of background noise in the video, and I really just wanted to come and just apologize for it. I tried to cut out as much as I could, but I think obviously it's time for me to get a new mic. So I really hope you enjoy the video and just watch till the end.
And so those of you who know me in real life know that I'm 100% an introvert. And I started this YouTube channel a couple months ago, and I'm very aware that a lot of people are probably thinking, what is she doing on YouTube? How did she get the confidence to put herself out there like this? What is going on? And if I'm being honest, that's something that I think about pretty much every time I film a video. Because putting myself out there is not something that has ever been easy for me. So I wanted to make this video to help other people who are in a situation that I would have been maybe a year or two ago, where you know that you want to put yourself out there, you know that you want to help people, you know that you want to create content or express yourself creatively, but you just don't feel like you can do it because you're too shy or because you're an introvert. And so before we get started, I'm actually going to pull up the definition of introvert because it's important that we get this definition clear. An introvert is often thought of as a quiet, reserved, or thoughtful individual. Introverts, his basic definition said, prefer minimally stimulating environments, and they need time alone to recharge. Extroverts refuel by being with others. And so I think it's important to really understand this definition of what it means to be an introvert, because a lot of people grow up, thinking that they're introverts and saying, oh, I'm an introvert, so I can't possibly do this. I'm an introvert, so I can't possibly put myself out there. But it's important to realize that actually an introvert is someone who prefers minimally stimulating environments. So these are people who prefer their own company. So there's nothing in that definition that says that being an introvert is negative or being an extrovert is negative. One is not better than the other. There's also nothing in that definition that says being an introvert makes you not confident. There's nothing in that definition that says being an introvert makes you bad at public speaking, or being an introvert means that you cannot put yourself out there on a public stage. So really, being an introvert or being an extrovert does not determine the things that you can do. You can be an introvert and still enjoy being around people. It simply just means that you prefer your own company and minimally stimulating environments. If you're someone who has been walking around with the label and feeling like you can't possibly do certain things because you're quote unquote an introvert, I want you to know that you can do anything you set your heart to do. Okay? That's the first thing. The truth, I believe, is that our society favors extroverts, and that's just the way it is. People who are introverts, you're usually more cautious, and that cautiousness will often get criticized. You may be told things like, oh, you're not assertive enough, or you don't stand out enough, or you're not confident enough. So I want you to know that one is not better than the other. Being an extrovert is not better than being an introvert, and vice versa. We often forget that there's more than one way to do things. And really what's important is just understanding what works best in certain situations. And so being an introvert, you definitely have strengths, you definitely have things that you can play to your advantage, but just don't buy into that lie that being an extrovert or being one way is better than another. And so now I'm going to be sharing some tips on how you can be more confident online. So the first tip would be to know your strengths and play into that. And remember when I said that for a lot of things, there's no one right way to do it. So as an introvert, you're often able to look at a problem or a situation and look at it from your unique perspective. And so when it comes to content creation, for instance, introverts tend to be better listeners. And so you can use that to your advantage, because when you're a content creator, really the most important thing that you can do is to listen to your audience and to find out what they need help with, what their pain points are, so that you can meet them at those places and alleviate their pain points. So that's something that you can definitely play to your advantage, because many people out there, bloggers, content creators, they put out content without even thinking about their audience. They don't think about what people are actually searching for and what needs people have. They just put out content all about themselves. And while there's nothing wrong about putting out personal content, I think as an introvert, you really have that unique advantage of being able to just survey and, as they say, read the room and kind of see what's going on, listen, and be able to put out content that best meets the needs of your audience. Because when you do that, you're able to create more meaningful content, and you're able to create content that will truly impact people's lives. So I would say definitely know your strengths and play into that. The next tip that I have is to know your why. And I think I talk about your why a lot because it's really important. So your why is really that question that answers, why am I doing whatever it is that I'm doing? Why am I creating content? Why am I trying to achieve XYZ goal? Having a strong why is what will keep you going even when things get hard. Because let's be real, you might think that putting out videos on YouTube is easy, that you just all you have to do is just put together 1 or 2 videos every week and throw it out there. But it's really not easy. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and then there's also a lot of mindset issues that you have to work through to be able to put out content online. So knowing your why will help to keep you grounded, and it will help keep you going when things are hard. So think about, why is this important to me? How will this impact my life, my family? Who is it going to impact, and who is it going to help? So thinking about these things is really important, and your why really should be personal to you. And like I said, it's really one of the greatest things that you can know. This applies to your business, your content creation, and your life in general. Just knowing why it is you're doing whatever it is you choose to do. The next piece of advice would be to keep taking action. So the first time you do something, anything you do the first time, it's gonna suck. Introvert or extrovert alike, literally, don't allow that to hold you back. So before I started my YouTube video, there is another video that I watched, and they said something along the lines of, your first 50 videos will suck. And that really stood out to me, because think about it, 50 videos is a lot of videos. And if we're being honest, I'm not even at 50 videos now. So I know that wherever I am in a year from now, if I'm able to be consistent, I will look back and probably say, oh no, this sucks. Why? Because in a year, I would have gotten better. So it's important to just keep doing. And the only way you get better is by doing. So if you allow fear to hold you back, you're just going to be in the same position. You're not going to do anything. You're not even going to give yourself the chance to get better. And so just really think about that when you're considering putting yourself out there online. Just do it. Just take action, because it's never going to be perfect the first time around. And you're only going to get better. You're only going to get more comfortable, and you're only going to get more confident, but only if you take action. So if you sit down and you wait till you get confident to start putting out content, you're not going to get very far. You really just have to keep taking persistent, consistent action until you get to the destination that you would like to get to. My fourth and final tip would be to not worry about other people's opinions. And this is a really important one, because a lot of times people choose to not put themselves out there because they worry about what other people will think. You might think, oh, but I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to put this huge effort and make a show of what I'm doing. And then if I fail, everyone will see me fail. And this is definitely something that I thought about before I started my YouTube channel. Even when I was working on my blog the first time around, I would often put out posts and not share it with anyone, because I didn't really want people to know that I was working on my blog, because if it didn't work out, I didn't want everyone to know that I had failed. One thing that I've come to realize since starting this YouTube channel is that, no one cares. People don't care. People who are important, your family, your close friends, those people, you want to take their opinions into consideration. People who are not important, you really don't want to pay any mind or pay any attention to what they think, because their opinions don't matter. I think everyone is just so consumed with their own lives that they actually don't sit there thinking about you and thinking about the fact that you are going after your goals and, oh, you might fail. I don't think people actually sit there and think about that. And if you think about yourself, like, do you actually sit there thinking about other random people, thinking, she started a YouTube channel, I wonder if she's going to fail? And if they are thinking about you and thinking about, the fact that she put herself out there, why is she on YouTube, or why is she starting a blog? Who is she to be starting a blog? Really, those people need to find something better to do, because they really should be thinking about their own lives. To summarize, I wholeheartedly believe that being an introvert does not have to stop you from accomplishing whatever it is that you want to do. So you can run a successful blog, you can start a YouTube channel, you can launch your podcast, you can be on Instagram, or just do whatever it is you want to do. You can put yourself out there. So just stop holding yourself back and just go for your goals. So I really hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give me a thumbs up, because I always like to know what kind of videos you are enjoying. And also leave a comment and let me know if you can relate to any of the things that I mentioned in today's video. So I'll see you next week, and I'll be talking about imposter syndrome and how you can overcome imposter syndrome in your life, in your business, at work, in your anywhere, because y'all know imposter syndrome is real and it will try to sneak up on you when you least expect it. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss that update. I'll see you next week.